Your programming has been interrupted by a public service announcement.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Huh? Really, man? Hey, look, I don't do this. Oh, y'all goofy. Hey, let's go. Bed. Bro, did you see that the whole sky was lit up?
Yeah, just hope it didn't cause a fire.
Forest fires have been burning in our lands for millions of years, manipulating the landscape that we walk on today. But there's just one problem with that. Forest fires are bigger now than they ever were, and we're going to find out why that is. As the population of people grew and more communities located themselves deep within the wilderness, the forest fire risk increased a lot, especially in the West Coast during the 30s. So something needed to be done about it. In 1941, Oregon adopted the Forest Conservation Act for restoration and fire prevention. This made people shift gears and start suppressing forest fires. This sparked up a few ideas because just a few years later, in 1944, Smokey the Bear was created. Fun fact, Smokey the Bear was originally a war advertisement brought up by the Japanese when they released fire balloons all over the West Coast. In hindsight, it didn't really work so well. There was minor casualties and the forest never got lit on fire too much. But it did make the US government spread awareness of preventing forest fires. From the inception of the US Forest Service to the 1960s, forest fires have been sparse, with people responding to ignitions within hours. And the boom of televised media and PSAs carried the US Forest Service on their back. So pretty much everyone knew about forest fire prevention.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
But around the same time this was happening, scientists realized that forest fires were actually needed, and they weren't completely harmful. In fact, they kept the forest healthy, because they did things like get rid of plants on the ground and freshen up the soil for new plants to grow in, and release nutrients that would otherwise be already sucked up by any other plants. Some trees even needed them because the heat made them release their seeds, and it also allowed any dead plants or fallen trees to burn up instead of be stuck there. But since all the suppression, things that fire did before for the forest started to vanish, and fuel started piling up. And this was a major issue, because if the forest got ignited, things would get a whole lot more heated, figuratively and literally. Looking at this graph talking about acres burned in the millions, if we look at the 80s, it averaged around 2 to 4 million, but if we look at the 21st century, it goes up all the way to the tens of millions. And this is quite devastating, because these numbers are also expected to rise within the coming years. But not all hope is lost, because there may be a solution to this problem. Native Americans used to do controlled burns inside of forests to prevent large-scale ones from happening. And while English settlers did not like that very much, it did help prevent major
Fires.
If we skip forward now to the 21st century, controlled burns are actually a good solution to solving the forest fire problem, but the fuel's already built up, so it's gonna be hard to control the burns and not let it get out of hand. But it's one solution. And before I finish the video, I gotta say, if I was planning a city, I would do a few things. First, I would allow controlled burning, and also make everyone put out their campfires if they go camping. And most importantly, no fireworks! I better not see Little Timmy walking down the street with a freaking firework, because if I do, bro, it's on sight! It's on sight, Little Timmy! You better put that crap away, bro, before I come on there and do something. Alright, Little Timmy, you got that? And also, anyone can come in and they can have an opinion on what we should do about fires in our city. You know what? A British person could just travel straight from England and then have their own opinion. Wouldn't that be crazy? You know what I'm saying? Teen crumpets, anyway. That's it for me. And yeah. And whether we like it or not, fire is here to stay. So we might as well embrace it. I mean, after all, humans have learned to use fire for good. Maybe it's not too late to do it again. Or maybe not. Definitely not. And I know this video's a little sad, but you're a big boy. You can handle it. And in conclusion... Whoa. Before you leave, bro, Smokey's gonna spit some bars for you.
My friends, depend on me, Smokey B, to voice a plea. Respect the forest, protect our trees.
Real fire stuff, my mans. And of course, remember, only we can protect the forest. Together.